From Troy University and Troy Public Radio, this is On Leadership with Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., Chancellor of Troy University.
This series has focused on the basics of leadership, but it's really important to learn how to lead yourself. It stands to reason if you don't know yourself, it's impossible to be a good leader. One key truth that is often ignored is that success in life requires balance. And that reminds me of a special experience I had more than 15 years ago. It was in June of 2008 while I was visiting a university in Inner Mongolia in faraway China. I met a young man named Su Few. I've met a lot of bright young people in my 35 years as Chancellor of Troy University, but this young man was among the brightest I've ever met. In fact, he made almost a perfect score on the SAT, and that was taken in English, which was not even his native language. Su Few was intrigued by questions that have intrigued many of us as we approached our collegiate experience. But among the questions he asked was, what's the purpose of an undergraduate education? That was the very first time any student in any country ever asked me that question. In my response, I advised Su Few that education is not just about making a living, it's about making a life. And life requires balance, intellectual, physical, social, emotional, and spiritual. I think it's when any of these areas get out of balance that we have problems. In other words, good physical and mental health, a good career, love of others, and spiritual faith are among the key ingredients. My point, effective leaders understand this very delicate balance. They take care of themselves so they can give their best to not only themselves but to their team. They devote time to exercise and they pay attention to proper nutrition. And studies show physical fitness can foster effective leadership by enhancing energy, self-confidence, and mental wellness. And effective leaders also possess self-awareness. They know how to maximize their strengths while starving their weaknesses. A Cornell University study found that a leader's level of self-awareness is the strongest predictor of success in leading others. And why is that? It's because leaders who are self-aware not only understand what makes themselves tick, they learn to rely on others who have complementary skills. And in the process, they starve their weaknesses while creating a strong leadership team. Leaders who are self-aware practice self-discipline. Allow me to cite the words of another leader, President Reagan, who said, "If it feels good, don't do it." I think it takes self-discipline to avoid the temptation to react without considering the consequences. Finally, self-aware leaders must realize the importance of their own behavior on the leadership platform that they are privileged to occupy. This means that those you lead will always be watching. Leaders who forget this can rationalize poor leadership or even unethical behavior. And when you are prepared to take any action, ask yourself this one crucial question: would my mother approve of what I'm doing? If the answer is no, then it's obvious. Take another course. Let me summarize. 1, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. Life is about balance. 2, evaluate yourself. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses. 3, don't indulge yourself. Practice self-discipline. Again, President Reagan made a profound and compelling statement when he said, "If it feels good, don't do it." 4, always remember your actions are under a microscope. I hope you will strive to find that balance in life that will benefit you personally, professionally, and spiritually. It's been a real pleasure to bring these leadership ideas to your attention. May God bless each of you. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to On Leadership with Dr. Jack Hawkins Jr., Chancellor of Troy University. On Leadership is available wherever you get your podcast.